Everyone, about a year ago, I looked at Helium and I produced probably one of the most controversial videos that I ever made because I called it a Ponzi scheme. And it has been a year since then, so I thought I'm going to take a second look at it and talk a little bit about the underlying technology and how it's been going in the meantime. So let's see if anything changed about Helium, or was my internal, the internal prediction that I was making that it's not a good investment to buy one of the miners. Was it correct? So Helium is right now traded at around $6, and let's take a look at first if you would be buying a miner today, then how much effort and how much time do you need to spend before the miner would turn a profit. So I don't have to do that calculation myself because there is this Grizzled King who has been he produced several content about this Helium, and he calculated that for us back in March 6th this year, that you would be earning somewhere around 0.09 helium per day. So with the current prices, this is about 60 cents or about $240 a year, something like that. So basically your daily return for a miner, which costs around $500, 500 euros in our case, it would return its original investment in about 2.2 years, so 2.3 years, which is, as far as investments go, it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, so let's take a look at whether or not for potential users, if using Helium is actually preferable over other technologies. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and use this as an example. It's a company called Once. They are providing industrial machine-to-machine IoT SIM cards. This can be a eSIM, or this can be a regular SIM card that you can place into your thing, right? That is connected to the internet. And they offer you a flat rate, and that's 10 euros for 10 years. Okay, so this is, just to explain this, this is a data-only connection that you have 500 megabytes of data that you can use anywhere, and you can send SMSs, but you can't do like phone calls and everything. This is not for your mobile phone, right? This is for your let's say your smart fridge or a tracker for some device or something like that. But basically, it's on any communication network that is used today, and this is just one example, right? This is 10 euros for 10 years and 500 megabytes included. And if we compare this to Helium, right? Helium sells you these data credits, right? So data credits are being sold at this price. It's 100,000 data credits you can buy for $1. Each data credit is 25 bytes. So this is somewhat difficult to compare to, right? So I just quickly calculated here the actual data that you get for a certain amount of money. So let's say this $10 that you, or 10 euros that you have to pay for a SIM card. This gives you 500 megabytes, and for the same amount of money, 10 euros, you will only get 23 megabytes on the Helium network. As you can see, the actual Internet of Things, company, this is operated on the same network as your mobile phone, right? Whenever you have a mobile connection, this thing will connect, right? In fact, it offers LTE-M and narrowband IoT, which is a newer technology, slow data rate and has better connection. So it means that even like this is getting into the same territory as LoRa, where you have better reception at areas which is inaccessible. And so this is working. This is something that we are using at work, and not once we have our own subscription, because honestly, this is just what's available for you, right? If you operate an IoT company, then you will get better rates than this. So even though this price of the data credit is 20 times worse for Helium, this is what's available online, right? If you make a deal, you will get better deals than this, right? But the price for the data is not the only criteria I would like to investigate. I would like to investigate the hardware that you have to do, because what good is data if you cannot send bytes, so for that you need to have some sort of modem, a wireless module that you integrate into your device. So I made a filter in DigiKey, which is an electronic component supplier where you can buy thousands of these modules, industrial purposes, and then I listed based on price, and I also I'm looking at volume quantity. So let's say you are a small IoT company who has wants to put out a few thousand customers. They want to have a smart trash bin or whatever, right? And you would be buying these modules and you would just build it into your device. So let's say the cheapest that you can buy right now, it's from Fonstel. I'm not familiar with this company myself, but it goes around €9. That's if you buy 1,000 pieces. If you would buy one, then the price would be higher. And that's just one example. The price quickly shoots up if we are going with more brands like Microchip or Murata. So then it's around $15-17. Now, you should be aware, and this is one with a built-in antenna from layered connectivity, so you don't have to do any design around with the antenna. For the other modules, you would need to do that, and it's already €20 that we are talking about. The competing solution is the LTE Cat-M1 2G, 3G. With Cat-M1, you can run your device basically from AA batteries for years. It's just so low power. So here's a cellular modem for €7, right? Here is one which has navigation, so it has built-in GSM, GPS, and it has navigation, and it has probably a GPS module built in, right? This one has LTE for $12 or euros, a Cat-M1. So this one will be low power, that you can run from AA batteries for years, right? Alkaline cells or lithium primary cells. So for $12, and here there are a few modules that are available at that price, but not too many. There are Chinese modules that are cheaper than this, and I'm not sure about their quality overall. So the module prices are similar. GSM, LTM, and so on seems to be cheaper. So you have to take that into account when you're building it into your device. The other issue is that if you want to do a firmware update on your device, let's say you have a new firmware with new features and everything, that's almost impossible to do with LoRa. So on the Things network, because you have to break up your into very small messages, your firmware. It's very difficult to make sure that all the packets are arriving, because basically you have to break it down into 24-byte packages. Like with LTE, you can open a TCP/IP socket and push your firmware through, and it just arrives. So, and this is right now the coverage of LTE and narrowband IoT. Most of the civilized world is covered with LTE, and a little bit of Africa, and apparently India is not covered, which I find strange. Probably this might be not up to date. But yeah, you only have parts like Greenland, and that are not going to be covered. If you compare this with Helium, you know, it's doing good in Europe, right? And then we have the very similar situation that you know, there's not going to be any connection in Africa or in South America or Greenland and so on. So you are not going to get a better connection if you go to the Helium network. And in fact, you will have spotty connections in big countries like France or even in the United States. You know, your phone will work mostly everywhere in the United States, and which means that the Internet of Things will work better because of the low data rates and better connection. But even here, you know, in West Virginia, we have huge blank spots where there's nobody doing the mining. So this is something to keep in mind, that you don't really want to worry about connection issues when you are deploying thousands of devices, because like customers buying something and they just expect it to work. When it doesn't connect, and you know, just tell them, oh yeah, you know, you have to just move it 10 kilometers or something, that's just, they're not going to accept that. So it's not very appealing to connect to the Helium network right now, and this is going to be improving. So let's move on to the next topic, and that's how does the future of the Helium network look like, right? Which is the onboarding of new hotspots. So apparently the back orders now are 3.5 million hotspots. So with 3.5 million hotspots, we might be fixing these spotty connections, right? However, you have to keep one thing in mind. That is, the emission rate of Helium network is fixed, right? There is so many Helium that is getting, the miners are getting. So if there is another 3.5 million hotspots that are connecting to the network, let's say they deliver this in a year, right? Then your income as an average, you know, you all people will earn less money. So here I made an estimation that, you know, right now we have 600,000 Helium hotspots online. I divided it with a back order, and, you know, I should have done this, but yeah, that looks about right. I don't think it really changes anything, but basically, what it does, it you know, the 2.2 years return of investment on average for whoever is buying a Helium miner is going to drop drastically if this onboarding of new people is going to happen, because it's going to go from 2 years to 15 years. So at this point, I would argue that you running the miner at home is just going to be energy negative. So you are paying money for the electricity that the miner is using, and you will earn less money on average, which is also visible here if we take a look at the market. So here there is a total of 900,000 hotspots, actually not 600,000, but okay, I know what is happening here. There is a 900,000 hotspots that are ever sold, right? However, only 500,000 hotspots that have been rewarded, and hotspots that have beaconed, so these are the ones that are online. Only 600,000 hotspots are online. So about 2/3 of these hotspots are online. 1/3 of the hotspots have shut down because they were either not profitable or something else happened to them. So 1/3 of the people who bought their hotspots just shut down their hotspot because, as I said, the only thing I can imagine is that they've been trying to get it profitable, and it was just not possible. Their earnings were, you know, this 0.09. This is an average. So, you know, if whoever is boasting online that they are earning, you know, 1 Helium a day, that means that someone else is earning less. So So they will probably be earning, you know, half a dollar, even less, 10 cents a day, something like that, and realize that they can make more money just by selling the miners because on eBay, and they've been probably doing that. So that's the problem. When they expand the network, right? When they expand the network, your profits will go down because someone else in the area will be providing the coverage for the same network, right? The same connection. And I made the claim that, you know, nobody's really using the network because the data credits are being spent, but they are not spent on the right things. So as you can see, this is the data credits burned per day in dollars, right? Which is there was payment fee, data transfer, a set location, add gateway. Which is, if you look at this, adding gateways has been the majority of data credit which has been burned, and the other is assert location, which is this is figuring out where your hotspot is. This is costs that the networks are using. So this is not useful data actually. This is maintenance cost for the network. And then there you have payment fee, which is like what, 1,000 euros a month, a day, something like that. Nobody's using this network. What do you say? You know, are you expecting this to grow rapidly and just people start using it? Why would they do that? Why would they do that when there are superior network connectivity solutions are available, which are guaranteed to work and which come with a, you know, tech support? If you have connection with your GSM modem, if you operate a company and you cannot connect to the 4G network for any reason, you can call up your network provider and ask them like, what's going on? Is your network not operational or whatever? I mean, and they fix it for you, or they provide you with an answer on how you can fix it. So if your devices are offline for any reason, you have a tech support. You have it's so different if you can call up, you know, T-Mobile and get your connection fixed from their side, and then you're going from you know, a decentralized solution where, you know, you can't tell if a customer is of yours is just here, or they have a wrong configuration settings on their device, or you know, the SIM card has been blocked for any reason, or they received too many SMS messages. So it makes all the difference that having something that has been operational, like the GSM network has been in operation for the past 40 years, 50 years, something like that, you know, from the early mobile phones. This is something that has been there for a year and a half, and it's not very competitive price-wise, and it's not very competitive coverage-wise with GSM. So, and as we can see, the network is used to add gateways, and you know, this is the Ponzi scheme part, that when you add a gateway, there is a network fee of $50, which they charge you for, that you have to burn. That's included in the miner's price, which I have it here open for the locals, that, you know, 425, 450. These are all indoors, by the way, so you have to either, you know, put out an antenna and buy the antenna and go to your roof and put it there, or you can buy the expensive ones that go outside. So in conclusion, the miners are expensive, the return of investment is not very good, and the network is not very attractive as a, you know, so that an IoT company would connect to this. And I don't see a way that how they can fix it. Like I was thinking that maybe they can outgrow these issues, that they're just going to, you know, fail upwards, that they keep on getting investors who are going to, you know, invest billions of dollars into a network, and then they make it at the end, you know, despite the failures that we have. But that's not doesn't seem to be working for them now. So this has been a Shitcoin Detective. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, and take care everyone.